This is News at 6 on WCJB TV 20, your local station.
The mayor of Ocala is facing controversy tonight after the city council president suggested Mayor Kent Gwynn belonged to the Ku Klux Klan.
This all took place at a Tuesday city council meeting. City council president Mary Sue Rich made the claims after the mayor approved a proclamation recognizing Confederate Memorial Day. TV 20's Landon Harris is live at City Hall tonight, where the mayor held a news conference to discuss the accusations.
Mayor Gwynn set up a press conference today in order to reference those claims that he is a KKK member. He says that after multiple news agencies reached out to him this morning, including TV 20, trying to get some type of comment. Now, he did say in reference to why he signed the proclamation to have April 26, 2019, known as Confederate Memorial Day, it was simply to honor veterans who fought and died for this country. He had strong words against the accusations of being a member of the KKK.
But I'm not proud of you doing Confederacy proclamation, standing up here in front of all these people in the city of Ocala. That turns my stomach. And when people say you are a member of the Ku Klux Klan, I'm beginning to believe them.
The mayor is allowed to sign proclamations without approval from the city council. He did say very strongly that he was not a member of the Ku Klux Klan and never has been and never will be, and it is, in fact, he hates them, is what he also said. Now, during Tuesday's meeting, the council president, Mary Sue Rich, said she doesn't believe he deserves to be mayor, and she hopes he doesn't run in the upcoming election. Well, I was able to speak with Mayor Gwynn and ask him that question. Does he plan to run? He said, of course he plans to run for the upcoming election. He sees no reason why he shouldn't have to, because this proclamation was once again only to honor veterans. Reporting live in Ocala, Landon Hara, TV 20 News.
And of course, we will hear from the mayor coming up tonight at 11. The resentencing trial for Michael Bargo began this morning. Residents of Marion County might remember Bargo.
He's the man convicted of killing teenager Seth Jackson in 2013. He was put on death row for his crime, but today he was back in a Marion County courtroom because of a 2016 state Supreme Court ruling. TV 20's Julia Laudy is at the Marion County Courthouse tonight and joins us now to tell us what has happened inside the courtroom today.
This morning, the court had presented opening statements. Both the prosecutor and defendant attorneys gave their statements to the jury, and witnesses were called to the stand. Those witnesses included Bargo's former neighbors and an accomplice, Kyle Hooper, but Hooper refused to testify in the resentencing. Bargo was originally given the death penalty, but the Florida Supreme Court ruled that juries must vote unanimously to recommend the death penalty. That 2013 jury voted 10-2 to sentence him to death row, and now he's back in court to convince a new jury he should not return to death row, claiming he has a mental illness and wasn't in the correct state of mind at the time of the murder. And now things have wrapped up here at the Marion County Courthouse, but they will be picked up again tomorrow morning at 8:30. Reporting in the Marion County Courthouse, Julia Laudy, TV 20 News.
Time now to check once again our weather forecaster on north central Florida. We enjoyed some blue skies out there today.
How does it look for tonight, Bill?
Actually going to be a very nice evening. You have outdoor plans. You should have a nice time outside, but we're going to get things warming up a little bit tomorrow, and then maybe some rainfall in the future as well. So a pleasant evening ahead. A few clouds building in during the daytime on Thursday, but we'll be warm, and we're going to keep it warm through the weekend, even though the rain chances are starting to go up a bit. For this afternoon, just the clouds rolling on through, and even those clouds thinning out quite a bit. Should be a very nice evening out there across north central Florida. Temperature-wise in Union and Bradford counties in the low 70s, 72 Lake Butler, 72 Brooker, 70 in Hampton at this hour. Moving into Alachua County, temperatures into the low to mid 70s, 72 in Gainesville, 74 in La Crosse, and 74 in Newberry. Here's your 3-day plan. We're going to see those temperatures stay pretty mild even after the rain chance to kick back into the forecast. Tomorrow looking pretty good. More of an easterly wind back to around 79 for an afternoon high. Staying in the 70s all afternoon. But what do we have for the extended outlook? We'll have that for you coming up in a few minutes.
The new air service from Gainesville Regional Airport to Dallas is already being expanded. Airport officials say 2 new flights have been added between Gainesville and Dallas-Fort Worth. Service to Dallas began in March and was daily, but now new morning and night flights have been added for passengers to have more options. The night flight will be for travelers arriving in Gainesville, while the morning flight is those departing Gainesville.
Coming up next, a group from North Central Florida spent the day at the state capitol.
We'll tell you why it had to do with legislation that ended up getting postponed today when the TV 20 News at 6 returns.
Gainesville March for Our Lives representatives hit the road to Tallahassee today to express their opposition to two bills.
The two school safety bills discuss the Guardian program and expanding it to include arming teachers. TV 20's Alexis Cruz is live in Tallahassee at the state capitol. Alexis, what are people there telling you about these bills?
Dave Page, I'm outside the state capitol where around 20 protesters from Gainesville and March for Our Lives groups from across Florida, like the people standing here behind me, have gathered to host presentations, speak with lawmakers, and host demonstrations, which we're going to show you video of right now. Around 20 people from Gainesville took a bus today to protest the idea of arming teachers specifically. Part of their demonstration included standing outside of the House Representatives' door and holding pictures of victims of gun violence. The event organizer for the North Central Florida group of March for Our Lives says the bill can be revised to make all parties happy.
It's just safer when there's no guns, but a compromise could be the certain personnel who do have weapons. It doesn't have to be teachers that have weapons. It could be personnel more like sheriffs, and maybe add more sheriffs to campuses, but teachers shouldn't have weapons.
The discussion of House Bill 7093 has been postponed to a later date. We caught up with Republican Senator Keith Perry to hear his thoughts on the legislation so far.
There's debate about, and we've had kids tell us this, do you want to go into a school that looks like a prison? You know, we don't. We want to have kids feel comfortable when they go into a school, but we also want to make it safe. And it's important for parents and their kids to be safe.
We'll have a wrap-up of today's events as well as more information on the proposed bills tonight at 11. Now, really speaking with demonstrators earlier today that are from the North Central Florida group, they told me they're not here at the Capitol to argue, but to also find a compromise that can make everybody happy and keep the schools safer. For now, I'm live outside the Capitol. Alexis Cruz, TV 20 News.
Weather-wise around North Central Florida, we had a beautiful day today.
Lots of sunshine, lots of blue skies, Bill.
Yeah, perfect spring weather. We're going to keep it nice for the rest of this evening. Tomorrow, another nice day. But then as we get to the weekend, maybe some heat, maybe some humidity, and maybe some rain. Details on that in just a few minutes. Almanac for today, looking pretty good. Got to 76 degrees for the afternoon high. Now, we started out a little on the cool side, below average a bit. 53 is where we should be for this time of year. Tonight, we'll be right on top of that. Even tomorrow afternoon, probably right around 78, 79, maybe 80 degrees if we get enough sunshine. But we will have some more cloud cover building in the latter part of the day. Temperatures across North Central Florida now in the 70s in most areas, unless you're back out east of 301, where the onshore flow keeping those temperatures down just a little bit into the mid to upper 60s there. The humidity higher near the coastline, inland areas, very pleasant for this afternoon. We're not quite into that summertime heat and humidity yet. As we head through the weekend, this humidity level is going to go up, but the heat will also go up, so it might feel a little uncomfortable, but the rain chances will be back in the forecast for Friday, Saturday, and even on Sunday. Looking at the wind speeds out there coming onshore there at St. Augustine, Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, moving offshore here over at Cedar Key. The wind's lightening up the further west you go. And it should be a very nice late afternoon and early evening hours with the skies clearing out in most areas. Have the cloud cover racing in from the west throughout most of the day, and then low-level clouds coming in from the east. They're kind of drying up a bit the further west they go because they're meeting up with that dry air mass back out there. Doppler radar is all quiet right now. Going to remain pretty quiet as we head through tonight and tomorrow. Friday, however, maybe a chance of some showers and storms building back in as the storm system developing back out to west. But high pressure is in control right now. We're going to see the winds more out of the east and then the southeast as we head through tomorrow, and then more of a south and southwesterly flow as we head into Friday ahead of our storm system, which isn't going to really race on through. It'll bring some energy into the area, and with the heat and humidity we have during the day, a chance of showers and storms picking up during the midday hours on Friday, and then keeping the rain chances in for Saturday and Sunday, and another big batch of rain coming in for the beginning of next week. Temperature-wise across the southeast, pretty pleasant here. little bit of a cool spot into the spine of the Appalachians when you have Knoxville to the north and the east there. The upper level winds are going to shift around a bit more. We're going to get a trough of low pressure developing, and that's going to bring more of a southwesterly flow and some more moisture back into play as we head through the next couple of days. Tomorrow, a few more clouds building in. Rainfall stays away until we get into Friday. You'll see the chance of severe storms back out to the west here in the southern Mississippi River Valley. Our chances of severe storms is slight. We'll be watching this strong batch of storms moving into north central Florida in the morning hours on Friday, and then maybe in the afternoon we could see another batch of showers and storms building back in. How much rainfall are we expecting to see? Well, from the Weather Prediction Center here, a 3-day forecast puts us in about a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/10 of an inch, so not a lot of rainfall expected. But as we head through the weekend and beginning of next week, we could see another inch to inch and a half to 2 inches. So the rainfall is going to stay in the forecast through the beginning of next week. A few clouds for this evening, clear and mild overnight. Tonight should be nice and warm for your Thursday with the cloud cover building back in. But for tonight, we're going to go with 53 degrees. Mostly clear skies, still pretty mild. We'll see the temperatures warming up back into the low 80s for your Friday, mid 80s on Saturday and Sunday, and keeping it warm even next week. Not going to see any real cold air moving our way anytime soon. Forecast fact, the coldest April daytime high temperature in Gainesville was only blank, A, 63, B, 53, or C, 43, actually 53, all the way back in 2007. You remember 2007, don't you?
Yes. Just like it was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, there's a transformation underway in how we treat veterans and their pain. When a veteran from Wisconsin died from a cocktail of prescription drugs at a VA center, changes started to happen.
In his honor, Congress passed a new law. TV 20 Washington correspondent Elena Austin reports on how his family continues to fight for change in Washington.
If things would have been like they are now, I feel that Jason would still be alive today.
The Simkuskis back on Capitol Hill in meetings this week with lawmakers and the VA to check in on the progress of the law named after their loved one.
We're seeing some good positive results, and we're hearing it from veterans.
Sweeping reforms came after Jason Simkuski, a Wisconsin Marine veteran, died in 2014 from mixed drug toxicity while a patient at the Toma VA. Now his father Marv and Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin say Jason's law is leading to fewer veterans being prescribed a combination of dangerous drugs.
Our efforts together really turned a horrible tragedy into hope for so many others.
With Jason's law, the VA put in place much more rigorous training and opioid prescription guidelines, plus offering veterans more alternative therapies instead of addicting drugs.
No one's turning their backs on veterans in pain. There are, in fact, more options to help empower a veteran.
While Baldwin and the Simkuskis say there are many good changes in place, challenges remain. New laws allow veterans to seek more care outside VA centers, and leaders want to see those private practices follow cautious drug policies and track any opioid prescriptions. As the Simkuskis continue their advocacy, Marv says his son continues inspiring him.
I know he's looking down at us right now. I know he's smiling and saying, you know, thanks for all you're doing. I'm proud that he was my son.
In Washington, I'm Alana Austin, TV 20 News.
The next big change the Simkuskis want to see is for designated patient advocates to become independent, that's separate from the VA, so that they're more inclined to report issues. And this fall, the family is planning to open a 9-hole therapy golf course for veterans in memory of their son.
Regular season softball games really don't get much bigger than tonight.
TV's 20 sports director Kevin Wells is here to preview Florida versus Florida State.
It's the rare circumstance where Florida might be a slight underdog at home in the in-state series. The Seminoles are reigning champs and the Gators hungry to knock them off. We preview the big matchup next.